How is that possible? Archie and Lilibeth are now prince and princess, but they will be addressed as commoners, "No, your royal highness." How are they to go out in public after that? And how will they be addressed in their American school, just prince and princess? Fie, that's humiliating. The teacher won't curtsy in front of them, and their classmates will only call them by their first name instead of "Your Royal Highness, stop cheating off my homework." Yeah, it would all be funny if it weren't true. Royal insiders report that the Sussexes have been left extremely unhappy that their children have been stripped of the prefix ECW, His or Her Royal Highness. The courtiers are already ranting that with their announcement of the baptism of Princess Lilibeth, they have put the king in a no-win situation, and the palace has had to update the website with new titles for their children. Harry and Meghan were concerned about security and that the prince and princess titles entitle them to a certain level of royal security, the insider said. There's been a lot of talk over the last week. They've insisted that Archie and Lilibeth are prince and princess. And now they need to be made royal highnesses. All because, according to the Duchess of Montecito, the prefix ECW gives them fabulous privileges and the right to royal protection. Yes, they have the right to be called prince and princess, but not His or Her Royal Highness is really the most important line in royal protocol, confirmed royal expert Neil Shoned. And of course, royal highnesses are only high-ranking members of the royal family, including the current king's grandchildren in Prince George, Princess Charlotte and Prince Louis. And Meghan and Harry's children were again deprived. And can you prove to the Duchess that the children of non-working royals can't be highnesses? The Sussexes themselves lost their ECW prefixes right after Megxit. Sources close to Meghan and Harry narrated that the couple is furious that their children, though hard-won prince and princess titles, are denied the privilege of being called highnesses like William and Kate's children. An insider said the couple has been in long negotiations with the palace about this, hoping to beg for those prefixes. They've been ruthless since the Queen left, but they've been left furious that Archie and Lilibeth can't accept the title of Her Royal Highness, the source said. There is an agreement, they can be a prince and a princess, but not His or Her Royal Highness, because they don't work as members of the royal family. Meghan and Harry can't seem to grasp that only members of the highest-ranking royal family close to the throne and working for the crown can be ECW, which neither they nor their children are. Besides, they live on the other side of the world and throw lumps of you-know-what at the monarchy. All of Elizabeth II's children and grandchildren, with the exception of Princess Anne's children, who had no titles at their mother's request, were their royal highnesses princes and princesses. Princesses Eugenie and Beatrice wore these prefixes from birth because their parents were originally working royals. Now Meghan wants the same for her children. In doing so, she says she wants to raise them away from ridiculous royal protocol and raise them to be free people, feminists who intervene in politics and ignore all royal rules. But take the titles and privileges out because it is their birthright. The Duchess proved that she wouldn't let go of hers and would fight the palace to get all the cushions her children were legally entitled to. The children's titles have belonged to them by birthright since their grandfather became monarch, the Sussexes said in a statement. It's worth recalling Meghan's determination on this issue when she said in an interview with Oprah that they had stripped her son of his right to be a prince and allegedly could change the law to not bestow the title on him in the future when Charles becomes monarch. The first child of color in this family was not named like the other grandchildren, Meghan said at the time. They have no right to deprive him of the title. Well, Meghan is well acquainted with royal rights, but royal duties hardly ever interested her.